Hello there and welcome. It is time for another battle report for Star Wars Shatterpoint. This time coming from our March tournament at Magic Stronghold in Vancouver, BC, Canada. And uh, there, again, shout out to them for being awesome and letting us take over a bunch of their tables to have monthly Shatterpoint tournaments. So the first round, this is the table that I set up. It should look somewhat familiar to you. However, I last tournament I was able to come home with the prize of a 3D printed building, which you see in the top left. So I incorporated that into my usual setup. Now, also, as you can see, I'm using my Dathomirian list that I've been trying out for a while here. But this time I decided to try swapping in Bo-Katan Kryze for Jango. Now, obviously, you lose Jango, who's a very strong piece with diceless displacement, a lot of mobility, and potential force refresh. But what I felt I was lacking in this list is the out of activation movement, and Bo-Katan brings that. She also brings quite a bit of mobility as well, anyway, but then also adds some defensive buffs and recovering to the team. Now Kiel is again bringing his Inquisitors. I think in the December tournament, he was using pawns and the clone commandos under Vader, and now at this point he has the Stormtrooper Sergeant, so adding in some more Galactic Empire synergy, and so bringing both Inquisitor supports. So the Inquisitor team will be having 7 Force at their disposal, plus the potential Force refreshes, since 3 characters, 3 units in my list are Force users. And my Dathomirian squad will be bringing 6 Force. However, Darth Maul will not need to use Force, so that helps with the Force economy on my side. Now, I did get the first player role, so let's see who I pick first. Super Commandos. Now, uh, the thing about this list, I found that it can be a bit stuck with its draw order. So there's a lot of worse options to go first, um, including like Savage. I don't really want Maul going first, or Talzin that badly. I mean, she can go early, but not. I don't like having her go first. So we'll move the Mandalorians up. This will also get me an opportunity to put my control tokens on multiple points, whereas he's going to have trouble with his single character units flipping more than 1 point at a time.
Repetition. Very important, I feel like, in this game to help remind everyone what the heck's going on.
Right, so making sure that, excuse me, making sure that I always move the Mandalorians in a way where they're within 2 of each other to get the focus. However, of course, they aren't going to actually be able to shoot anybody, but kind of a force of habit there.
Yep. Climb up. What a guy. All right. I was gonna say I like his cook's butt.
We'll go there.
Okay.
And then
We're of course playing on shifting priorities and picked the plus sign layout. I still think that my list does better on shifting priorities rather than Sabotage Showdown. However, my other matchups
You'll take the 3.
for this tournament were both against separatist droids, so
Misunderstood.
droids definitely come out strong in Struggle 1 for shifting priorities.
Nice. Good job. Okay.
But
So it'll go to me. Huzzah!
in
Oh, it's Reva.
one of the games, I was able to get Struggles 2 and 3,
I think we actually will.
but then in the other one,
She does nothing, so let's go.
I think terrain also
So here she comes.
was a factor, but I was also against the person who won the tournament, and so I won Struggle 2, but lost Struggle 3. So he's picked Reva, and Reva has Call the Hunt, which is an active ability instead of a tactic ability.
Spend a force to use her Inquisitors hunt calling thing. And then I should have maybe done that before I started. But that's okay. Her sister in crime is there. So they will go.
So giving a dash to
It's just dash.
fourth sister, move her up into the board.
The thing that at least for Reva is very important is the whole thing's about getting people in positions. I will do a jump with Reva, a force jump.
Force jump to get up and contest that middle point.
And you know what? I channel all my hate. It makes me powerful. Ow.
Taking 2 damage from Vader's ability to add 3 dice.
Like I said, it's a thought that counts.
Now she doesn't have the Inquisitorial Mandate, so she doesn't break the tie there and get it automatically, so she'll be needing to get the shoves, which she has 1-on-1, as well as her third step.
Crit, hit, damage. 2 blocks?
Yep.
2 blocks, so 2 hits, 2 crits. So going 4 down.
So she will get 4 down the tree. The Mandalorians don't have their protection and steadfast yet from Bo.
I'll do 6 damage and 3 pushes. Woo, get out of here.
So 6 damage, not enough to wound, but close. And then the 3 pushes will definitely get that Mandalorian off of the point.
And I won't bother following that up.
So she'll
That is me.
flip that
So,
and grab 2 points.
alright, we go to you. Nice.
I got Mother Talzin next.
I don't think we're ready for Talzin yet.
Okay, she's gonna be spooky and bide her time.
And so I reserve her, hoping maybe that a wound happens first to give her a dash. But then I draw into Savage, which is not ideal because ideally he's gotten a dash before he activates, either from Maul or Talzin activating. So this is where the order, at least especially in Struggle 1, can kind of screw up the plan with this list, but the consideration is to either go to the middle point that Reva is on, She has 8 health, which he can do 8 damage, but that would depend on him getting 4 successes in order to wound her, because he doesn't have any shoves. So rather than just going and potentially only tying the point, I decide to have Savage go for the top middle point, using his Furious Rush to dash up and hopefully be a difficult to remove body on that point with his protection and steadfast, as well as his high health pool. So that will get me 3 points.
Oh man, it's like it was planned. Okay, alright.
Cut your deck.
Yeah,
Now Kyle gets Fourth Sister.
She doesn't have a fancy when she activates. So she will just go. So you're gonna run up like a silly person. Back up a little bit. Because we're gonna pull Mr. Fancy Pants down.
And then, of course, yes, Fourth Sister walks up, uses her Force Pull, negating my difficult to move abilities, but that only prevents the attacking movement stuff. So
one expertise for me is a crit and a damage.
So 2 expertise is a block and a jump.
Oh, nice. So 2 blocks?
3.
3? Okay, 1 crit going through. I will deal a damage and push you.
he gets a damage and shove, except he has protection steadfast, so that does not actually go through. We realize it after. But then also my expertise gets me a jump, which will allow me to get back onto the point.
I tried, but I guess maybe not as much.
Let's see. I want to make sure I'm lined up right here. I'll get you to check that because I don't want to.
Yeah, no, you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so far I can push you. So. Okay, cool. And then I will jump myself.
Oh, actually, he has steadfast.
Oh, okay, so he could have go wherever he
There's no
wants.
shove there anyway.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, you pretty much will be up there. I'll jump up there with you. Oh, you think you're so clever, eh? But you know what? The government says that I have the authority to take this from you. Aha!
Yes, so Inquisitorial Mandate on Fourth Sister will still flip that point as well. So just doubly able to get that point with that Force Pull and Mandate, making it so that Savage is not enough. Next he gets 3 points.
Yep. 6 and 8.
Now next I picked Maul. So a few targets for him. Now I luckily we're a little bit on the casual side when it comes to these tournaments, because I kind of screw up the order of operations in this activation, but Kyle's nice enough to let me retroactively kind of fix that. What I was looking at is pulling Fourth Sister off of the point that Savage is on so that he can grab that point, and then using Sinister Cunning side, which gets me an easy reposition. And throwing my lightsaber at Reva, getting a shove and reposition to go up the ladder after, and then claim both of those points. However, I try to do the pull first, but then realize that Fourth Sister is then engaged with Maul, so he can't make the ranged attack. So retroactively, that decide to do that second, do that after the attack. And even though that means I can't reposition to go up the ladder, because I am at the ground level, but contesting the center point. So, still able to flip that as long as I'm able to push Reva far enough.
Ewoks are out. Yeah, she go take a gander. They're pretty gnarly. They're over there. Yeah. They're calling. They're calling from the trees. Nice. You're gonna beat me up for it? Nice. Come at me, she says. Nice. I lose expose.
Oh, so sorry. I'm. Oh, wait a second.
Sorry. Okay. Time out for a second. Hi.
There are many buses. Because I wanted to throw my lightsaber at her.
Oh, you're throwing it at her?
Yeah, but I can't because I'm engaged. I just realized.
Oh, okay. I thought you were hitting what's her face.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what I have to do.
Okay.
Yeah. No. So yeah,
You want to back up a little bit?
To hit her.
Did you want to throw and then pull me? Is that what you're saying? Okay, then yeah, we'll just do it that way then.
Sorry.
That's fine. That's okay. I'm understanding, guy.
Okay.
Throw her. Yeah. Okay. I mean, funny enough, it's the same dice for her. She gets her expertise this time though, because she is not exposed. So she gets forward. You got any misses? No curses. She does deflect things. She wasn't ready for the lightsaber though. 4 blocks. 4 blocks. Just 2?
Yeah, 2 steps. So we'll be doing 5 damage.
Oh.
A shove and reposition.
Okay.
I got the 2 steps, which gets me the shove and the reposition, but and that does get her out of contesting range, but I can't do the reposition because I need to stay within 3 in order to pull a Fourth Sister.
Yeah, only deflect ahead.
So Reva has deflect, but I actually didn't roll any misses on that attack. Or fails.
And I think I got her out of range 2.
And you're within 2?
He's within 2 on the ground.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright.
So that a nice big play from Maul there, getting me 4 points.
Okay. Well, he goes.
So fifth brother is going next. Moving up, going for that bottom middle point. Where is he? There he is.
I'm over here now.
There's a normal move and a forced jump.
He's like, I respect it. I respect it. Game respects game. Mighty 7 dice.
And not taking the damage for the extra dice. Probably anticipating that he only needs... Well, he actually
2 crits going through. So
doesn't even need to
and
shove the
in explode,
Mandalorian
may
off
do more damage.
of the point
So 3 damage
um,
in total.
in order to take it because of his inquisitorial mandate, breaking the tie. On top of that, he only needs to do 2 damage in order to wound the Mandalorians.
Okay, I'll get a point. Yep.
Getting a momentum from that, as well as the point. And Mother Talzin will have the opportunity to make a dash off that wound and a 5 dice attack, but not going to get in range of him. So just going to move towards the middle instead.
And then on top of that, I got clearly you're a Force student, but not a Force user, and I'm not hurt, so this doesn't do anything. And then I pull back 2, which will pull back into the middle. I'll get 1, you get 1. Yep.
Right.
Do you get
0, and we each get a momentum. So now that Talzin has taken her dash, considering going with her, and especially since she's closer to the point that that I don't have, that bottom middle point, and she's able to give Maul the dash in order to take the ladder and get up to the proper elevation.
Throw the magics at you.
She's like, you want to see a magic trick? And she pulls out a deck of cards. Deck of cards.
And then
he's
you
like,
take a
oh, my
ton of
favorite.
damage.
And then I throw the cards at you.
I mean, it works for Gambit, so.
Yeah, right? It's got to work here. I mean, they both come from places that are theoretically swamps. Right?
Wow, that was a reach, but I like it. I like it.
The bayou, you know? Going into my Cajun roots.
Dylan checking to make sure that. Where do I find this unsavory comment about the bayou?
Yeah.
I was actually just like, that seems like it's looking here, but
Yeah.
no,
Almost.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, so shoot magic at me?
Yeah.
Go for it.
1, 2 expertise.
Oh, I was an expert in my field. 2 blocks.
Crit, hit. Okay, 2 blocks you said?
Yes, sir.
So 4.
Ow.
That'll give me 6 damage.
Ow.
And 3 pushes.
Oh, well, I'll ignore one of them. And I'll take a damage less because I have protection right at the moment.
Okay.
So Mother Talzin getting 4 steps, 3 shoves, 6 damage. Definitely enough to get him off the point, even though he has steadfast.
And then if I... Oh, nice.
Everyone, you saw that on camera.
Yeah, that was his move.
Oh, whoops, there's the end of the measuring tool got stuck on something there.
You resolve your pushes first, so if he's able to push you off the objective.
Okay, well, yeah, so I'm only going to get... Oh, yeah, you're right. I only get steadfast once anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you might take that.
Getting the 2 pushes to get him off the objective, which turns off the protection, so I'll still take the full 6 damage. And I think the follow-up allows Talzin to be contesting the point from the ground. So that'll be 4 points for me again.
Okay. And that's that?
That's that.
Okay, go to me. It's Zaveda. Alright, Mother Talzin, you think you're so cool because you used the...
And here comes Darth Vader.
Shame if someone came and talked to you about it. Okay, here it comes.
Yeah, I'm even still on the ground for you.
Yeah. Okay. And we all remember how fast Vader is. He's just unstoppable.
The fastest.
Yeah, he's also furious.
Just as fast and agile as Maul.
Yeah. If there's one thing I know about the Vader, he's just like Maul.
Coordinated fire. So when a character in another Galactic Republic.
Yeah, where everything's fine. Everything's fine. Boring conversation anyway. Okay. And you know what? He will get mad about it because we're gonna open up on you.
She is not happy about melee.
Yeah.
So he's done Vader's Fury, which will add 2 dice, and he's taken 2 damage to add. Sorry. He's done Vader's Fury, which will add 2 damage. He's taken 2 damage himself to add 3 dice to the attack.
Which is 2 crits and a hit. Okay, how many?
1 block.
Nice. Okay, my tree.
On Dark Rage side, getting a full tree, as he commonly does.
How much health does she have?
She has 10.
Okay. I guess we'll max it out, or at least get her anyway. There's 2 for free because of Vader's Fury.
Right.
And then 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 3 pushes. So 11 damage in total. Okay. And I'm shoving her away.
So getting the wound on Talzin there.
Get over here. Commence the pushing.
Just 1 shot and
No.
3 shoves, which will push her quite far.
We don't want none of this.
Hoping to get her out of the fight.
Thank you very much. I'm not appreciative of that.
Knowing that she kind of needs to be up closer to the action to do her revenge attacks.
But she's not going to do anything about it.
So he gets 2 points again, and another momentum. We're not crossing 0.
Oh, it's not their time yet?
It is not their time.
Nice. Alright, well, we're coming down to...
So reserving the Night Sisters as they're on the side that I control, while the other possibilities, such as Bo-Katan, are on the closer to the side that I do not control. Now, I brought Bo-Katan partially for the out of activation movement. However, the Mandalorians are already wounded at this point, so giving one of them a jump doesn't help much, but try to think about where I can move them that might be helpful for next struggle. So I decided to jump the one just kind of towards the middle, and just being central for the next struggle. So Bo-Katan doing the jetpack first, so that her move action can get her within 2 of the other Mandalorian, which will give her a focus, and that focus will trigger Mandalore Will Survive, which gives a dash, which she won't use, but the 2 recovers, which will be used to get rid of the conditions off the Mandalorians commandos.
I will...
7 and then the bleed.
Who would you like to shoot at? Yeah, the 5th brother is really sad.
It's really sad.
What does he have left?
4, 5 more?
Alright.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's shoot at him.
Okay, go for it.
7. Defense.
So she's focused. ranged attack
Good offense, good defense.
on fifth brother.
Means dead people don't hit back, so
That is fair. Right? Two expertise. So 3 blocks for me.
So 4, so you said 3 blocks?
Yep.
So 1.
Yep. How bad's that?
2 damage.
Ow, I'm sad, but not that sad.
Yep.
Ow.
So only getting 2 damage through
Okay. Yeah, she'll take that back.
on fifth brother.
3, 4.
How much health does he have? 9. So
Go me. Ha!
1 short of getting the wound on him.
Go, team venture. Right? We will do the fourth sister.
Alright, so I got
I
4.
like the audacity of Han saying, like, hokey religions are no match for... And it's like, 30 years ago,
Excuse me,
that was
bud,
a
yeah.
war with witches and Jedi.
Yeah, I get it. You were just like a street hobo or a twinkle in someone's eye, but someone should have at least told you that. You don't take damage for that.
So Stormtrooper Sergeant going here and getting a Galactic Empire supporting unit to do an advance. However, they suffer 1 damage from that, so does that for fourth sister, taking her to the back point, which is now not protected, which we'll be getting that for him.
Sensing a sway in the force, so this struggle might be over. Yeah. I'm going to take a shot at Bo-Katan.
So taking
Here it comes. Throwing 6 dice. 2, 4, 6.
so taking a shot at
These guys are
Bo-Katan.
You're a professional. Yeah, an expert in your field.
With 2 blocks.
Nice. So 2 going down, so 4. 2, 4. We will do 4 damage, 2 pushes, and a reposition for myself.
Okay, so you have protection and steadfast while on objective.
Okay.
So you get one push, and then we'll see if I'm still contesting.
Yeah. Okay, I know how things work. Yeah. I know why I need to get a big one.
So kind of taking the bottom track, 4 damage, 2 shoves, and a reposition, and a recover
Get you off with that?
at the start there.
Okay, then we'll go down. Going down.
Thought about that one.
That's okay. I mean, I don't know.
So steadfast stopping one of the shoves, but the second one gets through there, getting her off the building. See if she's still within contesting range to have her protection.
Okay, and then that kind of changes things. Yeah, yeah. Because now I can actually steal that. All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, let's go.
So I take 3 damage then.
Yeah.
However, the reposition
In there like a silly guy.
will allow him to get in range, and so now Vader and
I outnumber you now there.
Stormtrooper Sergeant are outnumbering Bo-Katan
1, 2, 3.
for that point,
Still 2.
and we'll get 3 points because of moving fourth sister
Okay, you can't get
as
it.
well, and momentum for not crossing 0.
That one.
I did steal this
Ah!
one. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it
see, that was the plan.
That was it. Yep.
That was my stormtrooper being shown his worth.
Yes.
Right? See, way more effective than that other guy, that Earth guy.
So yes, definitely an upgrade from pawns for this list.
One of the sisters.
4 points and a they're either 4 points.
There are 3 points in the down.
No, I still need
4 points
4
there
points
and a down. She is sad about it.
Sad about it.
When I activate, I spend 1 more hit because I'm
Again, looking at Night Sisters, they can only really get the back point that fourth sister's on just by outnumbering her. But in order to finish the struggle, I would need either 4 points or 3 points and a wound.
Fourth sister is not sitting nicely because that exposed us
So if they are able to wound the fourth sister and take that point, that would win me the struggle.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I think we'll do Night Sisters.
Okay, they'll jump in.
They'll jump in and
Night Sisters are going to go.
attack first here. So start with her shooting. They're just outside, so shooting.
So this will be a ranged attack
Sister, yeah.
on fourth sister.
Do it. Except for if you melee the
That's okay. This is where she shines. She's got 6 defense.
Hoping to either follow up or on a shove or get the jump in order to get engaged so that the second attack has more dice.
I mean, Sadness has been a #1 killer of women in Star Wars.
I mean, yes, that is true. That is like 100% kill rate.
She's lost the will to live.
What?
What? Can we get another droid?
I think this one's broken. 2 blocks from me.
The robot chicken line of like, did you get your medical degree in poetry school?
Yeah.
Very on point.
Yeah.
Alright, so 4
How bad is that?
get through, which will be 5 damage.
Now.
I'm getting 4 successes, so I do get my pin, shove, and jump.
Woo! Okay, I'm not down, but I am sad.
Let's see if I can push you around those crates.
Probably, yeah. Follow that line.
I think it's gonna have to be. I think you're gonna hit.
Oh, okay. Then I bump the crates. Ooh! Ah! Boxes!
And then, but she gets a jump.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's right, they both shoot me. Oh yeah, that's right, this is why the Inquisitors are bad. I don't have an extra attack.
Oh yeah, supports with 2 attacks.
Oh yeah, that's messed up.
So she is going to
Oh
jump
no.
to engage you.
Yep.
So that on the second attack,
Here it comes.
the other one gets 2 dice because.
Yep, there's another Dathomir in there.
So from Night Hunter, because the other Dathomirian is engaged, or other Night Sister is engaged now, we get 2 more dice for that ranged attack.
Alright, what's that crit do? For the So that's 5, so that's full tree.
You need to do 2 damage.
Well, what if
I lose that.
What if I want to do 6 instead?
I mean, that's up to you. You just gotta at least do 3.
Getting the wound.
Yeah, she'll go down.
And pin.
Okay, I'm already pinned.
I won't throw expose. Well, they have no reason to. Actually, they have nothing to recover. So I will do expose again.
Okay.
And I get my jump.
Okay.
And
I will do a swift retreat.
So the fourth sister is wounded. She gets to do a reposition, which I'll use to take the Ingress point up.
I'm actually over here the whole time.
And
Whole time I was here.
probably looking to be close to those 2 side points, getting ready for the next struggle. And just doing a take cover action to get a hunker and move a little more into the map as well. Flipping that point, getting 3, and claiming that struggle.
Alright, well. Hey, it's the Grand Inquisitor, the guy I kinda didn't want. No, actually, I guess
I think.
Yeah, we'll put him in reserve. Now is not the time, Grand Inquisitor. So we'll do the Shatterpoint instead. Oh my god!
Did I not?
That's crazy.
I guess I didn't get that. thought we talked it through. Maybe I needed four in the wound.
Well, I think we'll just do Vader. So I'm just gonna go run and beat up those Dathomirians. Dathomirians. Yeah, I'm gonna go run over here and pay a force to go even farther. Because I gotta go fast. Where am I? There I am. There you go. Come here, bud. And he's a little closer now. It's supposed to be a dash. Let's dash get in there. Huzzah! We'll fight you forever. I'll give him the murder. He'll be mad about it too. You better believe he'll be mad about it. Grr. Okay. So then 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
So, going all out on this to get the 7 damage he needs to wound the Night Sisters there. Vader's Fury and taking the damage for extra dice.
And how many locks? One? Oh no. Alright.
Darn, a full tree.
Yeah, right? Well.
Again, a full tree.
2, 3,
And you have to do
4,
7.
5. Oh, okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'll do 3 pushes. Guess we'll do it on the back lady for the lulls.
So that'll get him a wound.
How be like friends with the board edge? Get out of here. Woo! Ragdolls her.
And 3 points.
Little sideways her. There you go. Boom. Alright, he'll be a bad guy and take that. So that's a wound. And then 1, 2, 3. And I'll get another one, at least at the end.
And then Mother Talzin will get her
I heal too.
revenge dash and
Clearly you are a poor student.
attack.
Mother Talzin taught you poorly.
And she's in range to
Ah, that's rude.
attack Vader.
Okay, go for it. That is true. That's true.
Oh, that's not right. I need to reroll that.
Oh, and it's of course a 5 dice attack, but I grabbed 7 dice accidentally, so getting rid of 2 and re-rolling that.
2 blocks.
So I get 2.
Yeah, how bad is that?
So he will do 4 damage. Ow. 1 shove and expose.
Using one of your actions for 2.
Okay.
I think I won't bother shoving you, but I will follow up.
Okay.
Get more into the game here.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I pushed you 3 times, just trying to get you out of the game here. I mean, at least make it more annoying for you. All right. I did the tree thing, so it's up to you.
Okay. So we've got a Shatterpoint.
Last is Shatterpoint. And at this point, needing 3 plus a wound.
No, here, there, and there.
So usually Maul is a good choice for the Shatterpoint. I do have a force point left.
He's hiding over here. Oh, come on. He's a cool guy once you get to know him. Yeah.
Give him a chance.
Yeah, come on.
He's got a cool hat.
Yeah.
Oh, actually. Miss Reva only needs.
I probably could have gone with Bo-Katan, just jumping up with that force point and again shooting fifth brother there to get the 3 and wound. However, going with Maul, I can use the 1 force instead of taking a damage to use force speed.
Force. For speed.
Yep. Okay. He's like, I see you, Raven. And he just runs and runs away.
Just run.
You're like, oh, okay. I guess I'll just stay here.
Yeah, Reva is not in range to get that point that he's about to leave, so it will remain my point. I mean, Maul is definitely the better guaranteed way to wound fifth brother, but at the same time he only needs 1 damage. And so yeah, reviewing this game, I think definitely would have been better to just have Bo-Katan go, because Maul was already central on the middle point, which puts him in a good position to threaten any of the points for next struggle. But I am kind of used to putting my Shatterpoints into Maul, given his force economy and the amount of
Why would you tempt fate like this?
Well, I mean, I already saw one. It's gonna be
the amount
how cool that was.
of
Oh, 5 blocks. He tried.
swing he can have on the board.
True expertise gives me a crit and a damage.
No, that's the worst. That's like the worst possible combo.
However, yeah, he did high roll on the blocks there, so
I mean, that was pretty basic.
so maybe in the end a good decision.
I get a
Yeah, because Bo doesn't have a lot of access to crits, whereas Maul with 1 expertise gets an automatic damage through, which is enough to wound, but then also the crit, getting a shove through as well,
Nice.
and that will be struggle 1.
You got the curves? Get the curves. What is our next boyo? I like this guy. Oh, so you have priority, so it's like that. Right. Where are we gonna go?
So choosing between
This guy.
bottom, left, middle, and then the right center on towards his side,
This guy turns off.
and the top, middle, and right, and the one that Vader is currently sitting on. So obviously going with that. Especially since Grand Inquisitor is ready to activate, and Vader is already sitting on one of the points, although Savage is sitting on the other.
Have the diamond. Ah, it's calculated, he says. Calculated. Alright. Well, he gets to dash and someone else.
So he gets to pick another Inquisitorious character other than Vader, basically. And he gets to dash as well.
Maybe down, but she's not up. But instead, she'll actually just clear that pin. And then he will go
Right, so
to the ladder.
I guess if Fourth Sister was pinned from the previous attack, she probably couldn't have done that. That reposition, but it works out in the end because he's gonna give her the dash anyway.
Yeah. He'll hunker for what it's worth, as always.
And so Grand Inquisitor just sitting up on that priority point to get him 3.
I will shuffle and refresh as well. It's back there. It's very important. who's going to do something about it?
No, if you are taking
It's Talzin.
Talzin was not going to do something.
Nope, she's literally in the opposite corner. Appreciate the
So,
notion.
Mother Talzin was picked. Not really in a position to be getting that priority point, although no one really is, because I don't want Savage to really leave that other point. So I see this as an opportunity to move Maul towards the middle, so that he can go for that point on his turn.
Alright, then, yeah, do you want to put her in reserve, or do you want to give her a shot? Give her one opportunity, seize anything she had ever wanted. I'd take it.
my 2 expertise gives me crits. 2 hits. Or total of 6 hits and 2 crits.
Then I will be turning. In spirit. There you go. For the homie that didn't make it here today. This one's for you, bud. Right?
How much health does he have left?
9?
He's full. I thought I had it.
Yeah, but
Oh, he heals, right?
We might, I think we might have tested it actually.
Okay. What fancy footwork does she want to do?
I think she wants to tell Maul to take a dash.
Nice.
And we'll see if after that Ingress point.
Okay.
Get it there. We'll make sure that's an inch.
You would think that one.
You have an inch and it'll run all over me.
And then
Giving that obscuring shadows dash to Maul over to the Ingress point, getting him up towards the middle again, which, like I said, wouldn't have been necessary if I had gone with bow instead earlier.
I was thinking of how to do that in a not embarrassing way.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Like, how do I
You intended to put it.
And then again,
I'll just add it in.
kind of doing things a little out of order
I'm still taking those off.
here, but retroactively fixing it. I want to use Manipulating Hand on Vader, even though it would cost 3 now. But then realize that either way I'm going to be in melee, so it'd really be better to be on the Wrath side, where I could get the active ability off the tree. So I resolve the Manipulating Hand.
Yeah. Move first. Ask questions later.
Or make compelling arguments, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I do. Or what do I do first? I move first, right? Because I would be engaged.
There you go.
After moving him, I wouldn't be able to advance. I'd have to dash. So I did the move first, properly. But then still resolved the Manipulating Hand. Although either way, I'm in melee, so then I kind of realize after that that I could actually get it for free off of the tree there. But either way, I'm going to be using it and doing the same thing. So it's really just a matter of whether or not I use the force points for it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to move there.
I'm getting there eventually, one way or another.
Yeah.
Alright, grab some dice. Prove it to me that that is the way it happens.
7.
1 block, probably.
3 crits. 1 expertise is a crit and a damage.
Okay.
Okay, you have 1 block?
1 block.
Wowzer. Okay. Yep, that's full tree.
Okay.
So I get my full tree.
I'll get the free ability.
So that will get the active ability.
How much damages?
We'll do 7. No, 8.
No.
Yes, 8 because of the expertise.
Okay.
So doing the 8 damage, which gets the wound on Vader, as well as throwing a couple conditions on there.
Okay.
You.
Yep.
So that will cause an angry revenge.
Yeah. The Sith Lord strikes back.
Well, we'll get the momentum for the wound.
So he will do his
Not get wounded in return.
revenge attack.
Sitting there like a silly guy. You thought you
That
could get rid of me, could
costs
you?
a force because
I
it is a
wanna be here.
reactive
This is my plan all
ability.
along. And then he'll throw a 5-die attack at you.
Luckily, this is now her
Luckily,
melee happy side.
Talzin is also in her on her side that's better defensively in melee as well.
Expertise for me is 2 crits, so 2 crits and a hit. Okay, 2 crits. I'll give you 4 damage.
Nice.
See, Vader can do a compelling argument as well.
So only getting 4 damage back, and she was at full health, so wasn't horribly worried about getting wounded back. Although there was potential for shoves there. But taking the 2 points
And it's this one. Ah!
and getting a momentum for not crossing 0. Now Kyle gets the Shatterpoint. Priority token is on the one that Savage is controlling currently. So he shuffles the Shatterpoint back in to see who would come up next. Wanting to potentially use that Shatterpoint later. So Reva is in a decent position to run over to that priority objective. So not a bad draw for him.
Okay, so then Reva is going to run off here like a silly person. Woo! Go jump down here. She will pay a force to have the fourth sister do an attack on what's his face, the 5-die.
Right, 5 die is another option.
Getting Force Sister to do a 5-dice attack into Savage. Hoping for some shoves to get him off of the building, or off the gantry, and be able to have Reva attack, probably.
5 damage in total. A pin and 2 pushes.
So he does get the 2 pushes.
So he's got protection and steadfast.
Okay.
So one less push, damage.
Okay. I will throw you off though. Get out of here. Get down here.
So Force Sister will push him down into Reva's range to engage an attack in melee.
4, 5, 6, 7. Did not get mad about it. 1 miss, 2 expertise. 2 expertise from her is a hit and a damage. 5 hits.
So 2 expertise is a block and a jump.
Okay.
So now with that second attack,
I will give you
he
3, 4 more damage.
he does get a jump from his expertise.
Can you do that?
So even though he has a low amount of blocks, that jump is helpful for getting back onto the point. However, the Fourth Sister attack did pin him, so he can just get rid of the pin with that jump. So Reva does still get up to that point, And Savage is
Okay, now stay there. I will
off of it, so he will get the 3 points on that.
1, 2, 3. Okay, we go to you. Oh, you're a force user? I will heal 2.
Ah, yes.
And refresh
And
2. Because he was clearly a poor student. The records were quite complete. Stays there. That's the important one.
well, he didn't. So Savage was not wounded there.
Oh no! Oh no, that's not good. She feels a little bit better, but she still only has 3 health left.
A little better, but yeah, okay. That is pretty clear what we're gonna do there. Let's take the climb.
Okay.
So Savage, looking at the health that Reva has left, which is only 3. Pretty easy for him to get at. So I'm gonna be looking to try and wound her and flip that point back again.
One block.
3 expertise is the crit hit damage.
Okay.
So 1 block.
Yeah, just 1.
So 5 will get me a full tree.
Yeah, my guess is you can do 3
So he
damage.
gets his full tree on that.
Nice.
Because he only has to do 3 damage, and one's coming from the expertise chart, I take the track that just throws a whole bunch of conditions on him,
Yeah,
or on
jokes
her,
on you, no one's alive over there.
and he does get his active ability for free. However, it's just
It's not gonna do anything.
gonna do more damage and
Yeah.
expose, which both of them are actually already wounded and exposed, so no need to roll on that. But I will get 3 points
It's the Grand Inquisitor again.
and a momentum for not. Did I mark the momentum for wounding?
Yeah, they're all.
Momentum for not crossing 0.
Alright, bud, sorry, wouldn't, sir. Yeah, what? That's crazy.
I
How about this
don't-
one? How about Vader? Okay. He'll wake up before we go. Oh, and also, where are we going, actually? Where are we going? It's at the break. Where
So
do you
I
want
think
us
I
to be?
wounded.
Nice.
I think it was wound, didn't cross 0.
It's only Mother Talzin
Wound
that's
didn't
awake
cross
over
0.
there?
Only Talzin, yep.
Okay, then he's gonna get mad about it.
So he reserved Grand Inquisitor because he's already sitting on that back point,
Won't move, but I'll get the extra.
and drew into Vader.
He's gonna
So
focus.
Vader's going to go for
3,
the point that he's sitting on.
7, 8,
Try and get,
9, 10.
as it's the priority. So try and get Talzin off of there. And or wounded. Only 6 health left, I think.
He's mad. He missed once.
3.
3 expertise was 2 crits and a hit. Blocking 3.
Yep.
Okay. 3, 6, 7. All right. Yeah, kind of the same thing as last time. 3,
Yep,
4,
full tree
5,
again.
7, 8, 9 damage. 9,
So a
10,
bunch of
11
shoves.
damage, 3 pushes.
He'll get the wound on Talzin.
Alright. Let's go get pushy about it.
Which one is no expertise?
Yeah. So we'll heal 2. Okay.
And trying to push her off to the side.
And then, yeah, that is
It's more difficult for her to do her
do refresh.
revenge attacks.
I'll get the wound, and then I'll flip it. There's that, and then 1, 2, 3, coming back.
Getting the 3 points again.
It's Maul, just Maul.
I should roll.
Yeah, that's fair. Where are we going? It's the box. You got it. Nice.
So priority moves over to the point I already have, which is nice. I've got Maul, so this is a opportunity to go for that back point that the Grand Inquisitor has been holding on to, even though he's in reserve.
Yeah. It's Grand Inquisitor or Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Or Vader.
Yeah.
Now Maul is pretty much the only one who can go and take that back point that Grand Inquisitor is on. There's Night Sisters, Mandalorians. I think Talzin's already gone, but Bo-Katan, they could all go for the point that Vader is on. Although basically Bo-Katan would be the only one who couldn't probably take that point from Vader, because she doesn't have enough shoves, I think, to get him off. But there's lots of options that way, not so much with the Grand Inquisitor and that back point. So be sending Maul that way for sure.
Gotta go fast. Yeah, you can totally go one to the other. 1, 2, 3.
So he's gonna skip over to the next tower there. And then there's also an Ingress point on the other tower, but Grand Inquisitor is kind of blocking that. So instead, I'm going to do the climb with his move action. And so we'll be slightly out of range of the objective, but using when he attacks in Sinister Cunning, there's early shoves and reposition in order to make sure that I get onto that point.
Okay, so we will do the no place to run.
Okay.
I'll be exposed. So yeah, I'll move you and then you'll be exposed.
Okay.
I have lots of force available, but I'm going to take the damage instead anyway, because the rest of the list is getting wounded and going to be getting a bit more force hungry once I need to do their activations. So pulling Grand Inquisitor off of the gantry, getting him clear and exposed so that I can throw my lightsaber and make sure that I get at least a few steps to guarantee that back point.
Other brother. No. Savage.
Savage.
No, Savage.
Savage and Savage?
Yeah. I like how much of Star Wars is like, no, it's not savage. Savage.
Savage. You gotta say it cool, like.
Yeah.
3 expertise. What a hero. 3 blocks. Oh yeah, he is. So even worse. 1 block.
Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, that's good for me. So 3 steps.
Not bad for that.
That'll get me.
Okay.
I get a shove and a reposition.
Okay.
No.
So I got the 3 steps and pin him because he has limited mobility already. So trying to pin him down there, forgetting that he gets a dash also off of his tactic, which will clear the pin. But I get that point for 3, which will get me another momentum. Now, Kyle draws into fifth brother. Grand Inquisitor is in reserve, so he can't. So he can't reserve fifth brother, but he is he'll become injured instead of wounded. I guess probably shedding the pin if he was pinned, and just kind of moving over back into the middle ish.
Hopefully, maybe I can do something in.
So, because he wasn't able to do much there, only getting the 1 point that he already controls. So, just thinking about that play, he was probably hoping, rather than going with Grand Inquisitor, who could have gotten that point back from Maul, potentially, he was probably hoping, because the priority token was on the middle top point, that he could have either Reva or Fourth Sister activate and become injured instead of wounded in order to take that point back from Savage, since that was priority. But just a very unlucky draw there. So I've drawn Bo-Katan. So like I said, not actually the best draw for trying to flip that point from Vader, because the Mandalorians are wounded, so even moving them in, even moving one of them in doesn't help me, and she's only one body to contest that point. So she'd have to either wound, which is not likely on Vader, or shove him, which, given the way he's positioned, would also be difficult. So luckily reserving her has led to the Shatterpoint, and so going with the Mandalorians so that they become injured instead of wounded, and they can take the point simply by moving in. So resolving the move first, since they should be able to, just from the move action, get within 2 of each other to get the focus. And then they're both in melee range of Vader as well. The one just barely, though, I think. So because they're wounded, the Mandalorians are stronger together is reactive and will cost a force, but I take that anyway to get the extra dice from impact as well, making it a 8 dice, making them 8 dice melee attacks. Getting 4 steps here.
Let's do 4 dishonor and expose. Okay. a shove plus the one from my
Yep.
extra.
Yeah, yeah.
That one. Except I need to stay in melee.
So I do one of the shoves,
So I'll just bump you into her base.
um, just to move him a little bit out of that pocket that he was in. Take the follow-up. Yeah, the follow-ups to get right onto that point, which kind of makes it difficult to shove him out again, but making sure that she's well on that point. And then the other attack.
Or 2 blocks, sorry.
That's 2 blocks. So 3. So this time we'll do 4 damage and strain.
So taking the middle track to do 4 damage and strain. So yeah, the strain will
Yeah, I'm sad about it.
disrupt some of his abilities there. So getting the flip on that point for 4 points.
Why would you do this to me? Okay, it's a Shatterpoint, so that's something. Oh yeah, where's the blue?
So,
It could be the Stormtrooper, sorry, they're the diamond. It's back here.
so priority ends up on the back point that Maul has. Grand Inquisitor is in a good position to take that.
Well, it feels bad, but I think you're gonna gotta do the Grand Inquisitor. Because he needs to do something. He'll clear his pin with you know who we are.
Okay.
And then who else is he gonna do?
Himself.
It's him and another person.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So clearing the pin with his tactic, and then getting to choose one of the other Inquisitors to move in with the dash. However, they're
How much health does Maul have left?
both wounded, other than Fifth Brother, who's out of position.
Okay. Then we'll try to beat him up.
So gonna go over to that
We'll walk over here coming up.
ingress point
And then we will smack the bejeebus out of you.
and attack
Well, at least we'll try anyway.
Maul. So going into
Already done that.
the Makashi form, which has more dice in melee,
I did have Maul go, yep. And the Shatterpoint, so
Yeah.
and
He'll get mad about it then. Just to make sure.
so taking extra damage
Alright.
in order to get more dice,
One miss.
try and guarantee the wound on
5 expertise.
Maul.
2 crits, 2 auto damage.
okay, so 3 blocks.
3 blocks?
3 blocks, yeah.
Okay, so I'll do 3. 1, 2, 3. So, 2 auto damage and 6 more. Or no, 4 more. 4, 6. A pin and a strain.
Doing 4 damage, pin and strain.
Might die here.
Now, he didn't have any shoves, so Maul can just clear the pin with his revenge dash, and then his 5 dice attack.
I'm gonna show you that the temple records are quite complete.
Okay.
Because it's just attacks. So he'll flip it and
And since he had 12 damage dealt to him, I'll add another 4 dice to this attack on Sinister Cunning. So 10 dice. Now, Grand Inquisitor is switching stances using temple records are quite complete, and that'll add 2 dice to the defense roll as well. So that's where he wanted to not be in Gemso so that he could swap over and get to his better side and get 2 more dice.
Oh, I'm so sad. 2. Alright, I think you win, good sir. You need to do 2 damage.
Never mind that.
Yeah.
So I get the wound
Yeah. Yeah.
on Grand Inquisitor,
Okay. Someone going off?
and Kyle
Yeah, sure. Okay.
realizes before I do that I get a momentum, which will
Here you go.
finish the struggle.
Did you get your momentum from all?
No, but it's over.
Not pressing through. But yeah.
Well, no, you get one for killing me. So I didn't take any objectives.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I hosed up. I should have recovered, jumped, and then attacked, because then I could have cleared the expertise. I rolled 5 expertise in there. I could have turned 2 crits to misses and survived that, but I messed up the order in there. So, yeah.
Right, because he was still exposed
Disappointing.
as well.
Like 1 bad turn.
So not being able to do all of his fun expertise to, or crits to misses and all that stuff. So that'll end off that game. Two struggles for the Dathomirians. Maul being the major playmaker there, although Talzin was still able to be pretty disruptive, even with his attempts to push her off the board. Grand Inquisitor not quite being able to do enough on his turn. Vader, of course, doing what he does and one-shotting even Mother Talzin with her 10 health. He did that twice, as well as one-shotting the Night Sisters. But the rest of his support just didn't quite get there. The Stormtrooper Sergeant did well and was definitely an upgrade for sure from Pawns, since he's Galactic Empire, and now the team is fully Galactic Empire, giving an advance. Was a big turn for him, getting Force Sister onto that back uncontested point, and he got the reposition on his tree as well in order to flip that bottom middle point. So definitely a good showing for him, but just not the greatest showing for the Inquisitor box there. But I mean, at the start, having that diceless displacement as well as the breaking ties had a good effect at the start there, when I was thinking, oh, I've got Savage on an uncontested point. He's hard to move through attacks, but they were able to throw him around as they should. But this game also showed me a bit about, even though Savage has poor defense, that expertise jump is really nice for him, being able to get back on points. I've been trying to make a conscious effort to consider that for Maul, because on the Dark Rage side, he has jumps on defense as well. Although in my other games, when I did stick in Dark Rage, hoping for those jumps, I didn't really get them, and the blocks, there's less dice and less blocks. So still kind of concluding that Sinister counting is still his better defensive side, even though he can get pushed and not be able to jump back. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and there will be 2 more from this tournament. Hopefully able to spotlight a few different lists, as I didn't play on this table again, and I don't think Kyle did either. So we tried to get some different teams in front of the camera and different people. So stay tuned for that.